Right now, the man suspected of murdering 3 people in New Lisbon is in custody, what one of the victims' parents is saying following the arrest. Plus, weeks after the deadly school shooting, students return to Abundant Life Christian School. This as the community continues to show an outpouring of support. This is News 3 Now at noon. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Arman Rahman. Josh is off today. Well, the man accused of a triple homicide in New Lisbon is in custody. Virgil Thu is expected in court this afternoon. Visitation service for his late girlfriend, Elizabeth Kolba, is underway right now. Our Tanasia Shaw is live outside the Juneau County Courthouse. Tanasia, you spoke to Kolba's family, is that right?
Yes, I got a chance to speak with Delcy Dick. She is Elizabeth Kolba's mom. She told me she spoke to Kolba just a few days before she passed. And as you said, Armand, the visitation is underway right now. Kolba was found dead on December 30th. Alongside her, there were 2 other deaths, a 13-year-old Skylar Sorensen and a 12-year-old who is also dead in New Lisbon. Now, we are not naming that child because we have not spoken to their parents. Kolba's mom, when I spoke to her, did not want her face on camera. But she did tell me that Kolba and the 12-year-old had a mother-daughter relationship. Family likes to call Kolba their angel on earth.
This was very bubbly and bright. Always had a smile and a hug. She brought joy to everybody around her. I tell everybody we lost an earth angel.
Delcy also told me that during one of her last conversations with her daughter, she talked about possibly going off the grid with Virgil Thu to the state of Oregon. Now, Virgil Thu is going to be here where I'm at Juneau County's Juneau County Courthouse just a few hours from now. I'll have an updated report on that in the later shows in the evening and throughout the night. Reporting Juneau County, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
All right, Tanasia, thank you. And if you or a loved one are suffering through domestic abuse, there is help. You can call Domestic Abuse Intervention Services Hotline at 608-251-4445. And students at Abundant Life Christian School are back in the classroom. It's the first day back since a 15-year-old girl opened gunfire, killing a 14-year-old student, a teacher, and herself. 6 other students were injured, including 2 who remain at the hospital in fair condition. Students were originally supposed to start the semester last Thursday. ALCS Principal Doug Butler welcomed students and families back to school with this message.
I have seen how you have supported one another, how you have shared stories of answered prayer, and I could not be more proud to be a part of this amazing, resilient Challenger family.
And you can continue to donate by texting HELP for ALCS to the number 40403. And meanwhile, the greater Madison community continues to come together to support victims of that tragedy, this time at Texas Roadhouse. By 6 p.m. yesterday, more than 700 people came through the West Side location to have 100% of their good meal go to a good cause.
I think as a community, we're all impacted by the tragic events and feel the aftermath of what it's like to have something like this happen so close to home.
And it was all hands on deck for the restaurant staff yesterday, with 25 servers, 5 to go, 5 bussers, 2 bartenders, and 35 people in the kitchen. Well, First Warn meteorologist Blaze Keller has a look at your certified most accurate forecast out on the weather patio. A little bit of a dusting of white out there today, Blaze.
Yeah, there's still a few flakes falling here outside the studio, but I would say the most accumulating snow has kind of come and gone. A few flurries may be possible as we go throughout the rest of your afternoon. In fact, we've got some lingering snow beginning to exit Walworth County, and we've got a little bit of some snow there off beginning to enter into actually parts of Dane County, moving out of Prairie du Sac, Baraboo, that is off to our south and east. And same with Lake Wisconsin, it's beginning to wrap up, but maybe just another 1/10 of an inch out of that little burst of snow. And we're, as I said, beginning to watch that snow wrap up south and east of Lake Geneva as well. But throughout the day, maybe just a few flakes here and there, again, like what we're seeing right now. You'll see that on future tracks, some kind of spots of blue as this low pressure system moves on through here. I wouldn't say it's going to disrupt any sort of evening commute, but maybe we'll just see those snowflakes falling and maybe, as I said, a 1/4 of an inch at best. Probably not not even going to see that. We're looking at mostly cloudy conditions, maybe some late day clearing off towards the north and the west there. Temperatures pretty seasonal, maybe just slightly above average in those low 30s. Speaking of above average, we are going to talk about how 2024 ranked for Wisconsin, as well as talk about that snow that could impact us on your Sunday in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, looking forward to some of that. Thank you. And officials say at least 10 people are now confirmed dead from the California wildfires. 7 separate fires are burning across Los Angeles County. Officials estimate as many as 10,000 homes, businesses, and other structures have been burned. Nearly 180,000 people are under evacuation orders. Charlie DeMar reports from Los Angeles.
Strong wind gusts remained a problem for firefighters Friday as they battle multiple wildfires that have devastated Los Angeles County.
The Eaton Fire, current estimated acreage, 13,956 acres with 3% containment.
Overnight, firefighters notched a win, stopping much of the Kenneth Fire. Residents there described the panic of being told to evacuate.
You're just grabbing kind of the first thing you see, and then you get out of there and you kind of realize all these other memorable or sentimental items that you may have left.
In the Pacific Palisades, mandatory evacuations turned Sunset Boulevard into a parking lot as people fled their cars.
What was in the car was the important stuff we needed, and we lost it.
Some who did not leave paid with their lives, including 66-year-old Victor Shaw, who died in the Eaton Fire. He was found with a garden hose still in hand.
I just cry. I just can't believe that it's happened. It happened so quickly.
The smoke is still thick here in Altadena, California, which was hit hard by the Eaton Fire. Now the National Guard is posted up at intersections like this one to keep looters away.
At the YMCA of Metropolitan Los Angeles, volunteers collected clothes and other necessities for the tens of thousands of evacuees.
You can tell down here, we have boxes of clothing that will be distributed.
Forecasters say while the wind is expected to weaken as the day goes on, dangerous conditions are in the forecast for next week. Charlie DeMar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The Sheriff's Department says at least 20 people have been arrested for looting so far. And President-elect Donald Trump has been sentenced in his New York hush money case. Judge Juan Merchan sentenced Trump to an unconditional discharge. It means Trump will not get any prison time or any other penalties. However, he will still carry the conviction on his record. Trump appeared virtually for the hearing with his attorney. He becomes the first U.S. president to take office with a criminal conviction on his official record. Trump is expected to continue fighting the conviction on appeal. Well, coming up next at noon, Chips Ahoy expands beyond cookies. Plus, TikTok's challenge to a law potentially banning it in the U.S. heads to the Supreme Court.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Today, TikTok's emergency challenge to a law potentially banning it in the U.S. heads to the Supreme Court. The law requires the popular social media app to cut ties with its Chinese parent company ByteDance or else face a ban. The law would take effect on January 19th unless the High Court moves to delay or overturn it. TikTok argues the ban violates the First Amendment. WWE's Monday Night Raw had a big debut on Netflix this week. The event had 4.9 million viewers around the world and averaged 2.6 million households in the U.S. This according to media measurement company VideoAmp. That's up from 2024's average of around 1.2 million U.S. viewers when Raw aired on USA Network. Monday's broadcast kicked off the 10-year, $5 billion partnership between Netflix and WWE. And Chips Ahoy is expanding beyond cookies. The company's new baked bites feature its signature chocolate chip flavor with a chewy, soft baked blondie texture. Chips Ahoy also launched a contest for 5 lucky fans and a guest to spend a free weekend this March in a Baked Bites-themed hotel room at New York's Arlo Midtown. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
I need me some of those cookie pillows. Well, here are the stock numbers at the noon hour. The Dow Jones is down 606 points, the Nasdaq is down 297, and the S&P 500 is down 86. And our Call for Action volunteers are in the building, taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You can call for Action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Well, up next, Pam has today's farm numbers. Plus, Blaze is back with the first warn forecast. Then later on Live at 4, we'll speak with a local expert about how artificial intelligence could impact Wisconsin's workforce. Welcome back. Let's check in now with Farm Babe Pam Yonke for your Midwest Farm Report. Hi, Pam.
Hey, Armin. Yeah, it's a good day to be indoors, at least for right now. But we're looking forward to county fair season months down the road. Wisconsin Fair Association wrapped up their annual convention this week with the honors of naming the fairs to the fair. But there were other honors that were presented to some hardworking volunteers. Remember, county fairs 99.9% of the time are depending on those hardworking volunteers to make everything run. And some from our Channel 3 viewing area that were recognized include the fellow right here in the middle. His name is Jerry Skalitsky, and he is one of the hardworking volunteers from the Lodi Agricultural Fair. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame that the Wisconsin Fair Association maintains. Another familiar face for folks in Rock County inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's Karen O'Leary, a longtime dedicated supporter of the Rock County 4-H Fair and now a member of the Wisconsin Fair Association's Hall of Fame. There were other volunteers that were recognized for going above and beyond helping their county fairs. Deb and John Turner from Sauk County presented the VIP award from the Wisconsin Fair Association for everything they do for that event that happens in Baraboo. And then Tim Lindholm from Iowa County recognized as the outstanding fair person. So those are some of the special highlights that I wanted to make sure I brought to our Channel 3 viewing area because you see those folks all the time. I have a chance to generally see them only about once a year when their county fair is on. But like I said, their work goes on 365 to make sure those county fairs are successful. Job well done. Well, the job today in Chicago is to try to plug the holes when it comes to some of the losses. Dairy in particular bleeding big on the midday. I tried to find out exactly what's going on. Just seems to be the sentiment right now at Dow Jones Industrial Average down more than 650 points. Everybody a little concerned about consumer demand, and that goes for dairy as well. I talked to a dairy broker yesterday from New York, and he said we're getting a little heavy on the cream, and he believes that's going to impact butter coming up in the short term. Today, the barrel cheese drops 2 cents down to $1.85. 40-pound block cheese down 7 3/4 at $1.82. And for right now, anyhow, Armand, the AA butter remains unchanged at $2.60 a pound. So there we go. And on that note, the only thing I can think of saying, and it's appropriate, go Pack Go. I forgot to wear my green today. I hope that I'm not the one that skunks us when it comes to that Philadelphia game on Sunday.
Oh, well, we'll hold you to that, Pam. We'll check back in on Monday.
All right, sounds good. Have a good weekend, Armin.
You too. Nice to see you. Well, we could see some more snow over the weekend. Here's Blaze with the complete forecast. Isn't that right?
Don't sound too defeated, but yes, we could see a little bit of snow this weekend. We continue to see the system move its way through the Midwest, especially Saturday night into Sunday. The good news is for folks like Armand and maybe you at home who don't want that measurable snow, not only is this a clipper system, so it's going to bring more of that fluffy snow, but it continues to stay a little bit further north than where we'd ultimately want it to travel, which is this yellow line here. The green line is kind of the path that it will likely be taking as we go Saturday into Sunday. And that green path is really going to inhibit it from pulling in a little bit of moisture, especially from Lake Michigan. Because as these systems kind of take this yellow path and those winds turn off of the lake, they'll likely dump more of that measurable snow across parts of eastern and central Wisconsin. But because this system really isn't going to be touching on Lake Michigan's open waters, we're only going to see, compared to what we would normally see, a little bit of snow. So there's this system coming off of the Rockies as we go through your Saturday night, moving out of the Dakotas. As we go into your Sunday morning, we'll start to be dealing with some of that snow. And then as we go throughout the day, it will be wrapping up from west to east. Maybe some drier air sneaks in as we go into the afternoon hours, which would further really reduce our chances for snow totals, especially across southwestern parts of the state, Sunday into Monday. Closer to home, again, we're going to watch as that system begins to bring in that snow as we go into the morning hours on Sunday. By the mid-afternoon, I think a lot of the accumulating snow will have already been done, especially for folks farther to the west. Farther to the east, maybe we'd be dealing with more of those light to moderate snow showers, but a lot of that heavier snow is going to be falling and accumulating across northeastern parts of the state because of how this system is ultimately going to track. There's that drier air sneaking in as we go into your Sunday mid to late afternoon, and then overnight into Monday, we see the last of the snow really wrap on up. So if we do get that drier air, we're looking at probably less than an inch of snow. Everybody else, maybe an inch to 2 inches of, again, that light, fluffy snow. Farther north and east, we're looking at an inch to 2 inches, maybe upwards of 2 to 4 inches there in parts of the UP. Again, that's where all that moisture is being pulled off of the lake and then falling as that snow. Even if we got an inch, that would be the snowiest day of the month so far. We still have only trace amounts of snow in the Madison area. We usually accumulate nearly 14 inches of snow for the entire month. So we have got a lot of ground to make up for snow lovers out there, but the lack of snow continues to really cause the ice on our area lakes to thicken up. So we're kind of getting a double-edged sword here. No snow for sledding, but no snow for perfect ice conditions out on those lakes to do some ice fishing. So we give and take with the lack of snow. 30s today, pretty seasonal. Again, some flurries here and there. And as I mentioned at the top of the hour, 2024's data is in, and not only for the United States, but for the state of Wisconsin as well. It was the warmest year on record. Our average temperature for Wisconsin was 47.6 degrees. The latest Beyond the Barometer should be on our website now, but I broke down per county that we cover here based on our coverage area, how not only December 2024 ranked, but also how 2024 ranked as a whole. And so I encourage you guys to read that. But there is a look at your 10-day forecast. Other than that snow Saturday into Sunday, Armand and folks at home, we stay quiet with cool temperatures and maybe some snow there into Monday morning, and then again by that following weekend. But again, with the cold air and these high pressure systems, it's just going to be really hard for us to get any measurable snow.
Gotcha. We'll head over to Channel 3000, read that article. I'm sure it's really interesting, Base.
Well, thank you.
Yes. All right. Well, let's head across the pond now, where some parents are outraged over a new rule requiring them to come to school to change their child's diaper if they're not potty trained. Debate over the policy is underway in the UK, as CBS's Tina Kraus reports from London.
Every parent knows the challenge of potty training their child before it's time to start school. But it doesn't always happen, and some teachers in Britain have a new rule. If your child needs a diaper change, you must come to school and do it yourself, sparking a debate at the school gate.
Teachers have got a lot to do, and so have the parents. If they are working, you can't just leave work to come and change them.
My daughter today actually, wet herself in school, and they were ringing us up, so it's bit of a pain, really.
I see the other side of it as well, so there's pros and cons to all of it.
The mandate comes from a county council in Wales, where teachers say there's been an increase in school-aged children not being able to use the bathroom by themselves since COVID hit.
All over Wales, there are a number of schools really struggling with this because they have neither the money nor the resource to keep supporting children in this way.
Teaching unions say some staff are having to deal with children as old as 8 who are still having accidents.
No child is going to be left in discomfort. Of course they're not. But there needs to be a joint responsibility here, and that's what we're supporting.
And educators argue the more time they spend on diaper duty, the less time they have to teach. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Now, only students with recognized medical needs will be exempt from the new diaper policy. Well, coming up, Howard wraps up the week in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen with some homemade candy.
Candy bar, chocolate bar, or even sweet treat. Well, whatever you call them, they're downright tasty and almost addictive. I'd like to share something with everyone that I recently discovered after looking over your recipe requests. You all love your sweets, and I don't blame you. So do I. And if homemade candy is on the top of that list, then you're gonna love the ooey gooey candy bars we're making today. We begin by melting some butter in a soup pot, along with a package of marshmallows, just until they're melted. We take this off the heat and stir in a good amount of peanut butter crunch cereal. After placing this in a baking dish, we melt some more butter in a saucepan and add equal amounts of sweetened condensed milk, and corn syrup, some brown sugar, and a splash of vanilla. Once this thickens up, we pour it over the cereal mixture, and after it sets, which takes about 15 minutes, we'll top it off with some chocolate that we've melted in the microwave. Once the chocolate firms up, it's ready to cut into bars. After trying a bunch of these, our test kitchen team thought these were even better than any candy bar that you can buy at the checkout line. If you want to try these, all you have to do is go to our website and look for, what do you call them, bars? I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a simply delicious way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Well, that's all the time we have today. We'll see you later on News 3 Now Live at 4.